Just going to record it. Okay. Did you guys do your homework for the first call? You did?
Yeah.
I'm so proud. Y'all are so awesome. Okay, so today it's going to be, I'm going to try and just go really slow and just talk about meal planning and meal prepping. And I think for me, it's so easy for me to just think that it's just like, oh, y'all are going to get it and it's going to be like no big deal. But this could be totally new for you. And so I just want to be really, really sensitive to that. So some of you might be like, oh, I get that. And some of you might not be. So can y'all see my PowerPoint? Yeah? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Shakeology for a minute really quick because I think it's really important to have a why kind of just behind everything that you do, because that is what's going to make you continue, right? That's what's going to be kind of the big picture for you that makes you want to keep going and be consistent. I know Audra told me that she already got her Shakeology and she loved it, and I was like, well, just wait till I tell you what it actually does for you. So the way I describe it, it's your daily dose of dense nutrition, and it is my one non-negotiable. I have girls in here that are doing Orange Theory and that are doing all kinds of other different stuff, and I'm like, cool. It's important that you do what works for you. However, this Shakeology is the one thing I really feel like everybody needs, and everything that's in it, it's actually nutrients that you can't get from food. Like, it has to be supplemented by something else. So when you walk into like Sprouts or Whole Foods, there's a whole section of supplements, right? And so all of these things in Shakeology are things that are supplemented. And the other half of that is that unfortunately our food in just America in general is super, super nutrient depleted. So it kind of becomes that missing link for me that I'm like, okay, I cannot control the food, organic, not organic, like whatever I do, I can't control the nutrients in my food, but I can control that missing link, which is Shakeology. And every single thing that is in Shakeology that you would have to buy at, Whole Foods to be supplemented, separately, it would cost like over $1,000. I literally did the math. I was like blown away by it. But when I first kind of started drinking it, I was super hesitant, like very cautiously hesitant. I had this mindset that like anything in a bag was terrible for me, and that I just had to stay away from anything processed. And when I kind of came to realize and really researched and studied, I feel like a lot of people don't research and study things like I do, especially when it comes to health. I kind of realized that it's actually everything that I would want in my body in a bag. And the reason it's in a bag is because it's dried and ground up in a way that we can consume. And it has done so much for me, and I'm going to explain kind of why it will do a lot for you. But it's going to curb your cravings. It's going to level out blood sugar. It's going to give you energy. You're going to sleep better. And there is definitely no such thing as a product that cures everything. That's the end all be all. But I do think that this is pretty close. So here are a couple of points that are important to just note in your head. First of all, it's not a protein shake. So I think a lot of people are like, oh, I'll just run to GNC and just get my version of a protein shake instead of Shakeology. Is that cool? Can I
Scout.
And I'm like, no, because it's not the same thing at all.
Come here.
Unfortunately, like, we are not protein deficient. It's not a thing. I don't know if you've ever even heard of anybody who's protein deficient. Vegans who don't eat any meat-based product at all are not protein deficient because they're getting protein through their vegetables and through their grains and through all things that you don't realize actually have enough protein for us to not only survive, but to thrive and to grow and build muscle. It's a nutrient replacement shake because we are definitely nutrient deficient. It's soy-free, which is important because hopefully us as women, you know that an increase in soy and eating too much soy can possibly cause an increased risk of breast cancer. And why this is such a big deal is because I can guarantee that any bag of protein, especially a larger size, you're going to look on the back of it and it's going to have soy in it. And what that means is they are using genetically modified soy as fillers because it's a cheap filler, and they can fill up the bag and kind of price it higher, right? And then it being chemical free basically just means it's artificial sweetener free. And what that means to you is that your gut is going to be in check. Artificial sweeteners totally tear up your digestive, which I don't know if you guys realize that. Artificial sweeteners are going to make your insulin kind of go up and down, right? That's when you hit your wall very hard. And you're like, oh my gosh, I need carbs right now. That's kind of what the sweeteners do to you. It can also cause skin stuff and ADHD. I mean, it can cause a ton of things, but it's a huge deal. I have yet to find a single protein or nutrient that is soy and chemical free or artificial sweetener free together. So this is the first one that I found. And I look on the back of like every single thing I see at a store. I'm like, oh, I wonder if this one has it. And I have yet to find it yet. It's going to break the diet cycle, and what that means to you.
Whoa. I mean, the mash burns, which is Catherine, is rich. They're very, very rich.
I know Mama Jean just said the wife's
I'm going to tell somebody. Oh, no. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me? Yes, you can. Okay, sorry. Okay, so when I mean it breaks the diet cycle, so you know when you start your diet,
I'm on
right,
my
and then you are feeling good, you're like weak, you know, midweek, you're like, okay, I can do this. You're restricting calories, you're working out, you're expecting your body to eat more and to be more, right?
Well, I want not to say that.
When you restrict calories, you also are restricting nutrients. It's just kind of a natural thing. It's normal.
Wow.
But when you restrict the nutrients, what
I can't get off my
is
call.
that your body actually starts to react. It starts to react in exhaustion. It starts to react.
Little buddy, 8:30. He doesn't go down at night. I don't know how y'all get him down like you do.
It starts to react.
I got it 3 times.
Feeling like crap. And that's when you kind of start to gain.
I don't care.
And that's when you go and binge and eat a bunch of stuff.
I can hold him on
Monday.
I can hold him on like this. He's like somebody.
So what Shakeology does for you is that you are restricting calories. You're working out, which is kind of what a diet consists of. But you're placing back into your life. And so you are not going to be grumpy. You're not going to be exhausted. You're going to feel amazing because your body is getting okay. I have found that I am eating probably like on the lesser end of calories in my 80-day program right now that I have in the past. Honestly, because I haven't just tracked it.
Because I guess everybody works.
And I have not felt
$250
the least bit dietty, right? Like I haven't
gives me all the meal plans,
irritable to all of them, which
the bands. You do all this stuff with bands.
Wait, Macy.
It's 30 minutes.
I know, it's amazing.
Plus a meal plan.
I didn't hear much of what you're saying.
Plus she's going over it. It's not supplements, but Shakeology stuff.
Give it all to me.
It's $250. Well, you got to get the.
I'm trying to see who's talking. Hello, Kim. Is that you?
Hi,
Kim. Can you mute yourself? Is that possible? Do you know how to mute yourself? Perfect. Great. Did y'all hear any of that I said?
Can you go back like 2 minutes?
I can. Sorry.
Thank you for stopping me. It goes back at where you were talking about the crashing of your diet and stuff.
Yeah, back to that. I agree.
The crashing of your diet cycle?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what I was saying is that when you're on a diet, you start to feel not 100%, right? So you're working out and you're restricting calories, which is normal, and that's what happens. But you're kind of expecting your body to do a lot, and when you restrict all the Sorry, I thought I heard her again. When you restrict all those calories, you're also taking away nutrients, which is natural and normal, but your body starts to react in ways. So it starts to get irritable, you start to get hangry, you start to get exhausted, you start to get feeling just like tired. And when you feel that way, you end up kind of binging, right? You kind of are like, oh my gosh, screw it. Like, I'm going to go out tonight and I'm going to go and eat and I'm going to feel like be fulfilled. And then the weekend ends and then you come back on Monday and you're like, well, dang it. I messed up. I have to start over on Monday. That's a diet cycle. But what Shakeology does for you is that you're restricting stuff, you're restricting calories, you're working really hard, but your body is being fulfilled with the nutrients that you need. And so I have noticed that in this 80-day program, I haven't really tracked my food in a while. And now that I am tracking it, which all of you will too, I'm realizing that I'm eating a lot less calories than I have been, especially in the holiday season, And I have not felt the least bit tired. I've actually felt the best I have ever felt in my life. And I know for a fact it's because I'm being poured into with nutrients through Shakeology. So just know that as you are drinking it daily, it is so much more than just no, it's a protein drink, I'm just going to drink it. It is such a big deal and so amazing for you. The probiotics are amazing, which basically means that you are going to go to the bathroom better, which we all need. My mom always said growing up, can't be number one until you take care of number two, if you know what I mean. So probiotics are going to do that for you. So depending on the package that you ordered, if you ordered the 80-day package, you might be getting a couple of other different supplements. And I just want you to be familiar with the names of them because I'm going to talk about them and they're going to be in certain documents. And so I just want you to know what they mean. So Energize is the pre-workout. It gives you just a really big rush of energy, and it's plant-based, and it is not going to make you itchy or jittery. I don't know if you've ever taken pre-workout before, but I've had experiences where I'm tingly all in my face. This does not do that. Honestly, even if I'm not working out and I just need to get laundry done, I will drink this. Honestly, it kind of helps you with focus a little bit too.
What does that one taste like?
It tastes like lemonade. It's really good. It's like a little tart. And then Recover. So it's the protein drink that helps kind of prevent breakdown muscles. So I only drink a protein supplement right after my workout because otherwise your muscles can break down. And also this particular Recover drink, it has BCAAs in it, which are branched chain amino acids. And that basically just means it helps you not be as sore the next day. Hydrate are electrolytes. I don't know if you guys have heard me talk to my Instagram stories. I've really been trying to focus on some electrolytes. I'm just now trying this. So far, I like it. It's not an immediate, Energize, I feel is immediate, whoa, I feel this. Hydrate, I think it takes probably about a month to really feel it. I think Shakeology is like that as well. And then Recharge, I don't drink Recharge. Basically, it's supposed to help muscles recover with slow releasing proteins. I do want to try it. I got a lot of supplements happening and I'm just trying to focus on Hydrate right now, and then I'll go to Recharge and just test it. Okay, meal plan. Here we go. Number one rule is you're not allowed to be overwhelmed. It is one step at a time, and it's gonna feel like a lot, but I promise you, you do this for 1 week, you will not even need any notes anymore. You won't need any of this paper. You won't need anything. You will know exactly what you need to do. I promise. So I just need you girls to give me 1 week of going all in 100%, doing everything that you need to do, and following through with it. And I think that you're going to be hooked. We're going to use the container system, which you might feel oh, that's really annoying. It's not. It is you start to think, you're wow, this is a protein? Cool, I've been having 4 of those in one serving. Good to know. It just helps you kind of have a reality check, okay? So your purple, and you're not even they have little stickers that will come in your package, and you're not gonna need them. You're gonna know what purple and green mean, but purple is fruit, green is vegetable, and they're both 1 cup, if that helps you. Purple is, color, what is this? It's late. Red is protein. Yellow is carb. I don't know if you guys can tell how tiny this is, but that is a carb, okay? It's really small. Healthy fats are blue, and then seeds and dressing are orange. They're wet because I just took them out of the dishwasher. But it's interesting. You put everything in these containers, and then you pour it on your plate, and you're oh, that actually is enough food. It just feels like you're eating bird food when you first look at it. It's not, don't worry. So it's just going to help you with portion control. It's going to help you realize what your current portions are and how much you need to alter your brain as you're going into this. we are not doing necessarily the 80-day obsession program, but we are going to do the eating plan, because I have done, and I've talked to my dad about this. He is super, super fit and has read every book on the planet. I mean, not literally, that's an exaggeration, but he is very, very well educated when it comes to health. And he has said that this is, he feels, the best way you can eat. It's called timed nutrition. So basically, what it's going to do is kind of help you time your meals out in a certain way that's going to best fuel your workouts before, recover from your workouts after, and then kind of keep the furnace burning throughout the day. And when I say the furnace, I mean your metabolism. So step one is to calculate the plan that works best for you. So I'm going to show you 2 places that you can access this kind of calculator, just to keep you like super aware of where everything is. So here we go. So in the virtual, well, actually, let's go to the Beachbody On Demand first. So A Little Obsessed is just 5 days of basically 30 minutes of 80-day obsession workouts. It was like a little preview of 80-day obsession. But anyways, to calculate what your meal plan is going to be, you're going to click on A Little Obsessed, and then you're going to go to program materials. Now, every single program that you click on has program materials. And within it, it's tracker sheets, calendars, eating plans, vegan eating plans. I mean, it's got tons of stuff. So we're going to click on the eating plan right here. And you're going to get a nice body shot of Autumn right here. I'm sorry about that. She just likes to be with very little clothes all the time. Come on. Okay, so this is kind of where it shows what all the containers are. Oh, and then teaspoons. You guys know, if you follow my Instagram story, my teaspoon of peanut butter that I get at night. Okay, calculate your calories. So let's have a pretend weight. Let's do 150 pounds. That seems like a solid number. 150 times 11 plus, so then we're going to add 400. And then we're going to subtract 750. So this 1,300 calories is your target calorie line, okay? So we're going to come down here, and plan A would be that. So that's how you calculate your plan. So it goes A all the way through F. Currently, Austin is on plan D, so I'm kind of working with plan A and plan D right now. So after you, let me show you the other place that you can access it, actually. Hang on. You can also get it in the Virtual Wellness Studio. If you come to Files, it is this one right here. That's all these numbers, and then ALO stands for A Little Obsessed. You click on it, it's the same exact file that pops up, just so you guys can see exactly how you can get everything. So after you do that, you're going to find, step 1, calculate the plan that works for you. Step 2 is we're going to find the meal plan from the calculations, okay? So we know that if we're 150 pounds, we're plan A. So let's come back to Beachbody On Demand, and let's go to 80-day obsession. This is just the first kind of step right here, or second step right here. 80-day obsession, program materials, nutrition, and then you're going to see there's eating plan A, B, C, all the way down. There's even vegan eating plans, which I think is really, really awesome. And so we're going to come to plan A, and we're going to scroll all the way down to kind of look at the timing of our workout block, okay? So the workout block is about an hour and a half before, and we'll say an hour before your workout, and then all the way down to 2 hours after your workout. And why this is important is because this is what's going to help you fuel your body, and then it's also going to give you to fuel for your workout and also to refuel after your workout. Now, I have always been a morning worker, outer, and I have never eaten before my workouts, ever, literally since I can remember up until this point. And I feel like that and I was like pushing back hard on it. I was like, I don't want to do it this way. I've never done it this way. It feels off. It doesn't feel right. And I will say that since I have just kind of I told myself I was going to give myself 1 week of trying it. And I don't know, just make sure. How do you alter your calorie intake for breastfeeding? Christine, I'm going to come back to that because I actually have a couple of girls breastfeeding right now that are doing this plan and they're working. So I'll come back to that. So I gave it a shot. I ate before my workout, and I feel like I've seen results only because I've changed it up, right? It's not necessarily like the fact that I ate, but I think it's just my body being like, oh, she's doing something different, and your body responds well to doing different things. So I just really want everyone, like I said, to give it 1 week doing the best that they can. So the containers on the right here, these are not by accident. These are very specific containers for your needs. So you have a vegetable, a protein, a carb, and then a teaspoon. So every morning I've literally been having green beans, which at 4 a.m., whatever, it is what it is. Eggs, 2 eggs is 1 protein, Ezekiel toast, and then like a teaspoon of coconut oil. And then I have my Energize, my pre-workout, and then I make my hydrate. And then after my workout, you have a fruit. So you have a purple container. And then if you don't have Recover, that's okay. I would just say leave that out. I don't want you guys to add another red because I think that might be too much protein. I think it would be. So let's just have the fruit if you do not have Recover, which is totally fine. And then your post-workout meal is going to happen about 2 hours after. And so you're going to have a green, a vegetable, a protein, a carb, and then another teaspoon. So lately I've been having a little bit of Brussels sprouts, ground turkey, whole grain pasta, and then I have a teaspoon of like peanut butter, or I'll do like pesto on top of all of that, just to make it not as dry, honestly. And so then this is kind of just a general layout of the rest of the day. So at 1 o'clock, and I'm going to show you the meal plan, I always have my Shakeology. Your Shakeology is considered a red. And I put frozen cherries, which is a purple, in there. And then my teaspoon, I move it actually down to at nighttime so that I can have my peanut butter snack, you know. And then the next meal I have is hummus and carrots or some type of celery. And then the next meal that I have is dinner. So it's a vegetable or protein. And then my seeds, I've been having chia seed water. And then I move my teaspoon down. So let's come back to the actual meal plan right here, the way I have it laid out. So I have put a link of this on the Virtual Wellness Studio. I can find it and kind of pin it to the top. And what I would encourage you guys to do is to duplicate this onto your own Google Drive and to just make this your own. So here are all the containers right here, and these are the times. Now, I have never ever followed these times. This is just a general layout, and you can shift it up or down as you need to. So I've shifted it up and I've shifted it down. But honestly, 7 a.m., I never eat at 7 a.m. It's just kind of there, just a general layout, just so you know. And then what I do is I come in here and I literally just put, when I change weeks, I just put something that I can think of. Like, oh, instead of spinach, I'm sick of spinach, I'm going to do Brussels sprouts in the morning. Who cares? Like, it doesn't have to be a time thing. I know that might be a mental block for some of you, that it's like, I can't have Brussels sprouts at 4 a.m, and I get that. But when you're so in the zone and you're so focused on a goal, you're just trying to get it in. You know, you're trying to get the vegetables in, you're trying to get the protein in and move on. And so what I do, let's come back to the PowerPoint real quick. My recommendation for you is to sorry, I already said all that. My recommendation for you is to do 4 days at a time. I just tried 3 days at a time and it's too short. I don't want to cook that much. I think 4 days is the perfect amount. And so what I would suggest is that you take this, you figure out your calorie, you figure out your plan, You take this template and you add rows up and down. So here's plan D that I've done for Austin right here. And I literally have done a right click, added a thing below, a row below, and if it needs to be, you know, a vegetable, I do this. And I add, you know, Brussels sprouts, and I just do it all the way across. And I'm like, done. That's how I'm going to make my meal plan. And so that, to me, I think is the easiest way to do it, and I think that that is the most clear way that you can do it. If you struggle with eating the same thing over and over, you can, like what I would do 4 days, and I would do 2 different vegetables and 2 different meats and just get a small amount of each and go back and forth. But the way I do it is like, if it works and you're living your life and you're feeling good, don't fix it, right? Keep it simple. I think that we all kind of get in this mindset of like, oh, I just want to have like this pasta meal with all this dressing and this vinaigrette and whatever. Like, just pick a veggie, just pick a protein, and just pick you know, fruit, whatever. Because at the end of the day, what's most important is that you figure out your happy medium, right? That you figure out what is going to work for you, how you're going to feel good. And when you start feeling good, the food stops mattering to you. Your taste buds are going to start to crave the good, simple, healthy food. I want you to make a promise to yourself that you're going to stick with this for exactly 1 week, see how it goes, and then we can make adjustments. You can reach out to me, send me a message, and we can set up a time to chat to say, okay, what is not working? How can we adjust it for you? Does that sound good? Y'all feel good about that? Okay, here's some miscellaneous things. So water. The general rule is half of your body weight in ounces in water. That's like the bare minimum though. And that does include, like if you mix your Shakeology with water, that includes it. If you mix your Energize with water, that includes part of your water. I would suggest drinking a gallon. I know that seems like a lot of water, and it is, but just slowly work your way up. I always say put timers on your phone and say by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I need to have this much drinking, and if I don't, I need to sit there and chug it. Going out to eat, I get a lot of questions about this because of work and stuff like that, and I know that that's super hard. Again, I really want you guys for 1 week to stick with this as much as you can and not go out to eat. When you do get your food ready, take it out of your containers, put it on a plate so you can see what the portions look like, what the veggies, what the fruit, what the carbs look like, so that when you go out to eat, you can kind of move food around on your plate and you can kind of visualize what the portions are going to be like. And I've been out to eat on this program, well, not this one, but in previous ones, and it hasn't been a problem, especially me knowing exactly what portions I need, knowing exactly what food groups I need is not really an issue as I kind of go out to eat. And you guys need to know exactly what you are going to order before you even pull in that parking lot. You need to look at the menu. You need to see what they cook with. Do they cook with butter? Do they cook with oil? Can you ask without those things? Because that kind of starts to add up really, really quick. You should walk in and not even need a menu. That is going to really help you stay on track. So when it comes to cheats, I have a guardrail mentality, and I want to kind of explain my guardrail mentality. And if you guys grew up going to North Point Church, you probably know what this is. But I want you guys to look at this picture right here, okay? You have your guardrail, and it's right beside the road, right? And that guardrail is meant for that if you hit the guardrail and go over just a little bit, you're not going to fall off the cliff, right? You're just going to kind of be in the safe zone right here. The guardrail, if it was all the way at the edge and you swerved, then you would fall off, right? So we want our guardrail to be really, really close so that if we do swerve off just a little bit, we're not going to crash and die. And so what I mean by that is in my head, I'm like, okay, I am not going to swerve. Like, I'm going to do the absolute best I can to keep on track as perfectly as I can, so that if something does happen, and if I do go out to eat, and if I do, if I do skirt just a tad, it's going to be okay. But if I walk into the week and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know I'm going to have 3 cheats this week and I know that it's going to be this and this and this, then you're kind of already setting yourself up for failure, in my opinion. So this is 100% a mental game. And as you start to kind of reach for, literally today, there's granola that I found in my pantry. And I was like, oh, that looks so good, granola. And I'm, 11 days into my program. And I'm like, you know what? If I cheat right now, I will never know what could have happened. I will never know how far I could go in these 80 days. I will never know what the progress would have actually been at the end of all of this hard work. And it's just not worth it. And so I just want to challenge you to put yourself up to the challenge of just fighting through it, fighting through that temptation and fighting through that mental state that it can so easily just suck you in and make you fall off of the cliff very, very easily. Some other miscellaneous things, alcohol. I understand that there are definitely social situations and it's like, this is really awkward. I'm the only one not having a beverage. I totally get that. It's hard. But if you're comfortable, like for me, I'm at a point in my life and I'm like, I don't care. Give me a LaCroix in a wine glass and I'll be just fine. But if you're just like, oh my gosh, like I'm so used to having a glass of wine every single night when I get home, I want to just try to encourage you to keep it at 4 ounces of red wine. And guys, at the end of the day, these are your results. These are your decisions. This is your program. Like, yes, I'm giving you the tools, but it's totally up to you to execute. And so you can take this as seriously as you want to. These are just my suggestions. Coffee is totally cool. I just want to try and get you to stay away from the creamer. I know that I can definitely get creamer heavy very, very quickly. And just know as you are drinking coffee, for every coffee that you drink, you need to have an extra 8 ounces of water because caffeine dehydrates you, right? So we need to have extra water to rehydrate you.
What about, I have a question.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Like, what about Splenda and coffee? Do you like
Splenda? So I'm going to encourage you to use stevia.
Okay.
1.
What about Truvia? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay.
Just one packet. Great question. So I know Kaylee messaged me. She's like, I got an email and my package is going to be delayed. Listen, it's going to be totally fine. We're going to figure it out. I think that's kind of been an issue for some people. My Shakeology order was a little bit delayed and I was like running out, I was freaking out. But here is what we're going to do. Thankfully, Beachbody On Demand is on demand. Like you have access to it right now. The only thing you really won't have is your containers, and you don't need to worry about that because I have them all right here, what it would be. So you can just take regular measuring cups. You can take your meal plans that you are going to find on Beachbody On Demand or the Virtual Wellness Studio. You're going to figure out your plan. You're going to figure out how many containers or how many measurements of each food group that you need, and we're going to figure it out. And if you need my help, let me know. And I can even make a template for plans A through F if y'all would like me to. I'm so happy to do that. No problem at all. The things that you won't have, Shakeology is the only like huge bummer that I'm like so upset about because it's so important. But just the minute it comes in, just go ahead and start implementing it into your diet. I feel so passionate about it. Your supplements, I mean, you won't have your Energize, which is a huge bummer. Just selfishly, it's a bummer. And then sliders and bands, which you guys can kind of make do with a couple of things that I mentioned before, like Frisbees or paper plates or towels. And guys, you really can get bands on Amazon that are not expensive. However, the resistance is just going to be a little bit different, which I think we're all smart. We can figure it out. So your homework is to look through the materials that you're going to receive in your package. You're going to get kind of a book that's also going to talk through these containers. Oh, I need to show y'all one more thing. I'm so sorry. I almost forgot about this. So when you go to the A Little Obsessed, this right here, this is the A Little Obsessed. Oh, there's Autumn. Program materials. You're going to come all the way down, and I have this printed out and in my kitchen cabinet, and I come back to it all the time. It's the containers for your food list. So there are times that I'm like, I'm so sick of all my vegetables. Let me just look. Okra. Yes, that's literally how I decided to make okra the other night, is because I saw it on this list. I was like, oh yeah, I'll make that. Just can kind of trigger your mind. My dad saw these sardines on the red containers, and he's like, I love sardines. I forgot all about them. I'm like, ugh, that's disgusting. But these are super helpful for that you can pull out and just be like, oh, what can I eat? What can I eat? Oh, peanuts. Okay, cool, awesome. So use that, print that out. That is a huge help. And there are some things that you're going to be like, oh, that's a carb, isn't it? And it's not. And technically, it's not like a healthy carb that you need to be eating. So print out all your materials, study it, take time to lay out your meals. Think about your meal times and your workout times. I'm always going to suggest to do it in the morning. It is the best time, in my opinion. But luckily, this is a plan that you are going to be able to implement and work out at night if you have to. I have a ton of clients who work out at night. It just works with their schedule better, which I totally get. So you're just going to plan your meals kind of around that. And so your post-workout meal would be your dinner. And I can totally help you guys figure all that out for you.
I might need help with that portion because I work a full-time job, but then there are a couple mornings that I have like really early mornings, like 4 a.m. mornings. So working out at like 2 a.m. doesn't sound that great.
No.
So I might need to reschedule till later for my workout on those days.
I'll make a template for you.
Okay, that would be awesome.
And then, like I said, you can just shift your times up and down as you need to.
Can you post that publicly, Macy? Because I need that too.
Yes. I'll put it. So the Google Doc, here, let me just show you this really quick. The Google Doc that I'm going to post, it has a bunch of tabs. So you're just going to come down here where all the tabs are. So I have like week 1. This is like my next 9 days. Plan B. I have a plan D. I'll do like a nighttime one. On the next tab. I'll do that first thing tomorrow morning. Does that sound good? Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions off the bat? Are y'all overwhelmed? Be honest. No? You feel good?
I've done meal prepping before, so that kind of helps. It's just more like scheduling the workout at the right time. That's the most
Yeah, and I told my girls this when we were doing our 80-day program. I was like, guys, at the end of the day, it's not a big deal. Like the minute you start taking this so seriously is when it becomes obsessive, and it's when it becomes like unhealthy. And so in my head, when I went into it, I was like, oh, I'm just going to like do whatever and try to make it work the best that I can. And it ended up being so much more convenient because when you know what your next step is and you know the time that it's coming and you know the exact foods, it takes the decision making out of it, and you just watch your fridge and you just get it. It actually becomes easier. And so I have alarms on my phone that kind of go off. And once they go off, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to get within 30 minutes of my alarm and then not stress about it. So don't overthink this to a point where you're like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. Like, it's going to be okay. It's going to take a week for you to work out some kinks, for you to figure out what's going to work best for you. And then you're going to get it very, very easily. I promise.
Macy, I have a question.
Yeah.
You said to download. Sorry, I'm sick.
No, I'm sorry. I can tell.
You said download my challenge tracker.
Yep.
But it's when I tried to log on, it said we needed an email from you.
Yep. I wanted to wait a little bit of time to make sure everybody was downloading it. So I'm going to send that tomorrow as well.
Okay.
Yep. Good question. Anybody else? KISS method. Keep it simple. Stupid, as Lloyd would say. Keep it simple, stupid. It's going to be okay. Any other questions? Jennifer, you feel good?
I think so, yeah. I think I just need to like get it all set up in front of me and like see it personally.
Yes.
And then I'll feel more comfortable about it.
Yes, awesome. Catherine and Brittany, y'all feel good too?
Yeah, I'm kind of a little nervous because I'm a teacher, and so I can do morning workouts probably if I get in the habit of it, but I'm kind of worried about like not being able to eat when I'm supposed to eat just because I can't exactly like stop class, you know?
Totally.
So, but I'm sure I'll figure all of that.
Yeah, but like I said, it will be okay. I think the most important thing is that you get all the calories in. Because I think people think that, oh, if I miss a meal, it's not a big deal. That's actually almost worse than just skipping it, because when you undereat, like it's so much harder to get someone to get healthy and get on track than when you it's just better to have all the food that you need. So just keep the calories in.
I am excited like about kind of like the smaller meals throughout the day, because I think I have like blood sugar issues or something.
Sure.
So that would be good too, you know. So
it will really help you. Shakeology will help you with that too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Brittany, you good?
I think so.
Good. Okay, awesome. I just don't want y'all to feel overwhelmed at all. Y'all just text me or message me or whatever. I promise you. I did a whole meal prep little session before this, and it took me an hour. And I'm like, oh, they can do this. The whole time I'm doing it, I'm like, they can totally do this. So I believe in y'all.
I have one thing. If you have like any suggestions, I have a small dorm fridge and freezer, and like I'm on the meal plan, so like my roommate knows totally that like I need that kind of space too, and like we share it. And so far it's been pretty good. But if you have any suggestions of like stuff that are already pre-cooked or like hard-boiled eggs instead of actually like scrambling the eggs in the morning, you know, like that kind of thing, awesome. That would be really good.
Honestly, to know. Microwavable, steamable vegetables, they're great. I use them. Okay. There's nothing wrong with them. There's microwavable sweet potatoes that you just put in the microwave and they're like wrapped in plastic and perfect. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll think of some things and I'll send it to you. Let me write this down. I'll write it down when I get off. Okay, cool. I know it's late. I try to get through this one a little bit faster, but y'all just let me know if you need anything printed out. And then tomorrow we're going to do tomorrow we're going to do kind of like miscellaneous, the personal development part, how that kind of works, and then how I ideally kind of see your routine happening and how just to execute everything. Cool?
Cool.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. Well, have a good night, you guys. I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.